Steve Rinella said it best. This is a quote that he said that I think he was talking about someone else told him this, that there's two different kinds of fun. There's fun that you have while it's happening, like you ride the roller coaster. It's fun. But you don't look back on that 5 years from now and go, that was amazing. Yeah. But then there's things that suck while you're doing them, like your 28-day trip in the Rocky Mountains, pointing a gun that you don't even know has a jammed bullet in it, and a grizzly is charging at you. Yeah. Like, that will be fun for the rest of your life.
Oh, totally, yeah.
You'll feel that when you bring it back, when you talk about it.
Yeah, there's like shallow fun. Some things are just shallow, but they're cool to do. There's nothing wrong with doing them.
Yeah.
But they're not real meaningful.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then there's shit that you do that's just really meaningful, you know. It builds character. It's something that you always look back on, you know, memories and shit.
But there's feelings that you get when you come back, too, where you appreciate things. Like Callan and I did this trip with Rinella in Prince of Wales, and we were up there for... We were supposed to be up there, I think, for 7 days, but on the 6th day, a storm was coming in, and so we wound up bailing early because I had a gig in 2 days, and otherwise I would have been stuck up there. Like, you get stuck. It rained every fucking day. And it didn't just rain every day. It rained all day, every day. There was like, if you had a break, it was a 5-minute break. Yeah. Like, where look, the sun, and then
just pure misery.
Again. So inside the tent, I put my headlamp on, and there was, see, this is what fucks you up. You think, well, when I'm inside the tent, I'll be dry. No, there's no dry because the air's wet. And when I turned my headlamp on, I realized the entire inside of the tent was moisture particles floating around the air. And I was like, fuck me. I'm in this wet down bag, and I'm looking around. I'm like, you're never going to get dry, bro. This is just, it's okay. Yeah. But, you accept it. But then when we came home after the 6 days, and I took a shower, and then we were in the car, and it was sunny out. And I was like, God, this is the best I've ever felt. I'm so happy. I don't think you get that happy unless you feel miserable first.
No, that's right. Yeah, so you know the misery, and then so you know the little things that we take for granted in life every day are like, fucking wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim did this hike in Montana with me, and it's like 14 miles, and there's just like not a flat bit of ground on it. It's just continually going up, and it's in the snow, and she had an issue with her leg, and anyway, we got up the top, and we set up camp, and it's just been miserable. But even a fire there, we lit the fire, and she's fucking smiling, she's loving it, and then we come back to the trailer, like we're not even in a house here, we're just traveling around in like a Winnebago trailer. And we get back to the trailer, and you get the flicker light on and turn the tap on, and it's hot water, and she's just like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. But a week goes by, and then you start taking that shit for granted again. Some people do anyway, So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you certainly can. But I think a guy like you're in the wilderness so often that, it's almost like you have a permanent appreciation for both things.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I actually miss it. I actually don't like this side of life as much as that side of life.
Yeah, I see it. I get it. I like both. Obviously, I make a living in cities.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. But it's nice to go out and dabble in it, live in it, and come back out of it. 100%.
Man, I love it. The few hunting trips that I get to do a year, when I'm out in the actual wilderness, like when we're in the mountains of Utah elk hunting, I just like sitting down sometimes. Just sit down and take it all in for a couple minutes. Yeah. Even though you're in the middle of it and you're running around looking for elk and you hear them, I just like how quiet it is.
Oh, it's the best. You start knowing yourself, and you start knowing the wilderness and the real world. It's like, because you always say, you said on one of the podcasts, I don't know if it was one with me or someone else, that it's so funny that we say the outdoors, because everything's outdoors, like fucking everything's under the ceiling of the earth, that's what it really is.
Yeah.
But it's so weird that you don't really know the outdoors unless you stay out in the wilderness or something like that.
Yeah, and I think also being out there at night. There's something about being out there at night. Boy, the campfire, and you hear things like, what was that? Fuck was that? You're looking
absolute
around.
Best, yeah.
It just seems, and the campfire somehow or another seems to be able to protect you.
Yeah.
Most animals don't want to fuck with campfires.
Yeah,
you see that fire,
exactly.
I'm going to stay clear.
Yeah. Me, I took Kim and the kids. We travelled around Australia in, it must have been the end of 2007 and early last year. And we camped out on the Tanami Desert, which is like one of the last places to really be discovered and explored in Australia. Like there's no artificial lights out there at all, like whatsoever.
Whoa.
And we camped out on the desert, and the only thing that was around us was like dingoes and camels. Like you'd hear them moving through the night.
Camels.
Yeah. But we sat there at camp. I just had my truck, my ute, you know, with the camper on the back, like real lightweight setup. And we sat there, no lights on the camper or anything. So you're sitting in the pitch black, moonless night. And the meteors, dude, like I reckon we counted 40, 50 meteors over like half hour, an hour.